I don't care if you've been dealing with cabin fever all night. If you up, smash that like button. Welcome to Black and Black Times Infinity. I'm your host, Cthulhu's Project, coming to you live and direct from the Stack Smoke Me Out fam with that dang shit. On my left, Stitch.
I become a multi-platinum recording artist, according to my daughter, for all the songs I just make up off the top of my head.
Nice. In the middle, we got Blue.
It's your boy, Blue.
God damn. You messing up. Engineering on the ones and twos. Engineering on the ones and twos, choke people out on the threes and fours. Chronos.
I bet you that bitch Carol Baskin don't appreciate social distancing.
Killing her hubby. Last but not least, we got oldest ninja in the world, Old Ninja.
How you gonna end up in quarantine while in quarantine?
Here we go. Here we go. We back up in here. Back up.
With the quarantine edition.
It's good to be back.
Yeah,
it really is.
All right, let's get it popping.
And that doesn't work. Huh, okay.
All right. You have any,
What are we starting with?
You got a listener of...
No, oh shit, I got nothing set up. Sorry, hold on. Give me a second. It's hard to do listener of the week because... not necessarily, but the first person in the chat because YouTube is tripping. Who's got the dogs?
Who's doggy?
Yeah. But I can say the listener of the week. Listener of the week would be Captain Sithel.
Ooh.
My nizzle. All right.
Captain Sithel?
Yeah. I'll tell you the first in the chat in a minute. I gotta open up the chat stuff.
That sounds like an anime character.
Yeah.
Well, good stuff. While Cronus is getting that going, Old Ninja, you have any celebrity D-list RIPs?
D-list? Yeah, so we got some interesting RIPs. We're gonna pour out some Schlitz malt liquor for. We'll start with Mark Bloom. He's an American actor, but he's had some roles. He had a supporting role in Crocodile Dundee. He was in Desperately Seeking Susan. He died of the Rona. So he recently passed away from the coronavirus. He's in other movies. You might have seen him if you're an 80s kid, like Blind Date, The Presidio, stuff like that. He was, I believe, 80 something.
Damn.
I'm sorry. He was 69. He was 69.
That's a good age. But not old enough. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Go out, 69. Was he the first celebrity to die from the corona?
No.
He did. Yeah, he's not the first, but he did die from the coronavirus.
There's been a bunch.
Yeah. Next up, we had Andrew Jack. He's in Star Wars. Actually, he's in The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. He's a British actor. He's been in 20-30 years worth of films. No, he died. He died of the coronavirus. He died a few days ago.
Okay, I'm getting deja vu, but all right, whatever.
Yeah, and then recently today we have Adam Schlesinger. He's an American singer, songwriter, record producer, guitarist. He's won Emmys, Grammys. He's been nominated for Oscars, Tonys, Golden Globes. He's the founding member of Fountains of Wayne.
Did he buy any tigers though? Did he buy any tigers? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. But he's written songs for both the stage and screen, usually performed by a bunch of actors. He's also the cousin of John Bernthal.
Did he get an EGOT? Did he get an EGOT?
An EGOT?
Yeah, Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony. Did he do that whole thing?
He's been nominated but didn't win. But he's written for actors like Jane Lynch, Jim Parsons, and Neil Patrick Harris. They performed his songs on both the small screen and on Broadway. He passed away from coronavirus today.
Damn. Rona don't care who you are.
I think almost 1,000, actually over 1,000 people died yesterday.
In just America.
Wasn't who?
Yeah, she does. Whoopi does.
She has a Grammy?
She had.
Yeah, I can't remember for
How
what.
the fuck did she get a Grammy?
No,
I thought she got.
She has an Academy.
The color purple.
She has an Academy Award for Ghost. I know that. I don't know about. Why you gotta get all?
Look this up.
Can't read.
Yeah.
She's won an Academy
Not
Award
for the color
Ghost.
purple?
I don't know about a Grammy.
But did she sing in The Color Purple? Like, I don't understand how she would get a Grammy from The Color Purple. That's a
No,
artist, like a musical.
Oh, was it
thing.
from Sister Act? She won a Grammy from Sister Act.
Oh, maybe Mr. Act.
I'm looking it up. Keep going.
Lauren
Alright,
Hill
so
was from
wait,
Sister
They were
Act.
saying
That's-
that got like Emmy.
Yeah, but the Grammy part though. I mean, I don't see how she would win a Grammy.
Oh.
She won it for Rain on
Yeah, she did get all four.
The
She
fuck
won a
did she-
Grammy in '86.
For what?
What? Though?
God damn it.
Oh, it's probably for spoken word or something.
All right, it'll take me a minute. Y'all keep going.
It's all good.
Sorry.
Oh, here it is.
she did win a Grammy.
Best comedy recording. That's what it was.
A comedy. Oh, okay, I got you. That's still weird though. All right. I mean, it's cool. She got it. I mean, I'm not gonna take anything away from her. I ain't got any of those fucking awards. So yeah.
You ain't even been nominated.
Yeah, right.
I'm trying to get the golden eggplant though. That's the fucking most important one.
Yeah. Everybody should try to get that. Get a golden.
Good stuff, man. Kronos, going back to you. Did you was it listener of you had the listener of the week?
I had
Did you get
listener
that?
of the week, and the first in the chat would be my boy Aiden, who was 5150 HCRX in the chat, and also my boy Jason is also in the chat. So thank you very much. There's a bunch of other folks too in the chat. They're just not chatting yet.
All right, good stuff. Man, who do we want to start with the real stuff of this past week and depress everybody?
This has been
Sure.
it's been awful news like the past fucking 3 weeks in a row. It's been shitty news.
Yeah.
Sorry guys and gals and those in between.
Mhm.
Oh shit, there's two
Yeah.
blues now. Blue, how's there two of you?
Because I'm magical.
What the hell? How did you do this? Witchcraft.
Man.
Devil's magic.
You might want to take the other
Yeah,
one off
you
though, because you got Oh, what the fuck?
You don't have echo. Man.
Oh, this is your other camera.
There's two of you.
Yeah, it has two cameras.
He's in stereo.
Blue, talk real quick and see what happens. I want to see what happens if you talk.
It's blue coming into you in stereo.
It picked the shittiest one to put up. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Unfortunately, one has a better camera, but the other one has a shittier mic. So
Pick your poison.
All right. So, what do y'all want to start with? What we talking about?
Well, I mean, biggest news out here is the coronavirus. We've been starting with it, and it's not going away. And this is the reason why the podcast is all semi fucked up right now. So because we're all practicing proper social distancing, and here in America, it's blowing the fuck up. Like what 2 days ago, it was like over 550 people died from the coronavirus in the United States, and at that rate, you would have over 220,000 people die in a year from this virus if it stayed at that rate. And yesterday, over 1,000 people died. So it's like, what the fuck? And today, we're probably on track for 2,000. So this virus is pretty legit. If y'all listen to the podcast for long enough, like a couple months ago, I was like, I don't see why this is a big deal, but I fucking backtrack on that shit because I see it.
Yeah,
like,
man.
as soon as I saw the numbers, I was like, oh shit, this is not the flu. This is not any other kind of bullshit. Like people are dying at a fast rate, and some folks, they didn't backtrack or didn't even try to apologize. So I'll apologize on air that, hey, it wasn't a big deal to me at first, but now that we all have seen it, go through its paces, it's fucked up, and people are getting infected at incredible rates, and people are fucking dying. And here in the United States, it's like, this is one of the worst things that happened to this country ever, really. I mean, more people have died from the coronavirus than have died from the fucking most recent wars that we've been in, like the wars in the Middle East, already in like the span of a month.
And more than 9/11 too.
Yeah. That's
way
insane.
more. So right now, I'm looking at the worldwide cases, and we're sitting at 935,000 cases of coronavirus with 47,000 deaths. I'm gonna see what that number is before we end the podcast to see how it changed.
Jeez. It's super sobering. I have to take just mental breaks from the news because I'm like this news junkie. I love information, But at the same time, this stuff is just it's devastating psychologically.
It's draining.
Yeah, these are human beings. These are people who don't get to see their family members and loved ones ever again, and it sucks all the way around. The only thing I can say is, boy, oh boy, do we need people to actually pay attention and adhere to the social distancing. I can't stand these assholes that just say, "Oh, I'm not affected, and therefore I'm going to go to the beach. I'm going to go to Mardi Gras. I'm going to go to spring break or whatever it is." It's irresponsible, and y'all just some trashy human beings.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is sorry, go ahead, man.
I was gonna say it's kind of crazy because like luckily Stitch had Storm in a good time because like people who are having babies now, they're not allowing anybody into the room other than the doctors and the patient. Like husbands have to wait outside in the rooms, and the same goes for people who's getting like the woman's going in for a checkup, like an ultrasound or something like that. Like they're not letting the husband or any other person into that room. Like that's how crazy it is. And even people who do have the coronavirus who are in the hospital that are dying, like they're pretty much dying alone because their family members aren't allowed to go in there because they're at a risk of getting the coronavirus themselves. So it's a scary disease to have out there right now.
Yeah, so in Spain there was a doctor that came on and he was talking about how anybody over the age of 65, they're just drugging them up to let them die. And they're taking the respirators away and giving them to people that are younger. And it was a similar thing in Italy. Well, they don't have enough respirators, you know. Yeah. And a similar thing in Italy, they were basically anybody over the age, I think it was of 80, they wouldn't even treat them at all. So they just let them die. I'm just like, man, that's fucked up. And these are first world countries.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy.
I know here in America too. Like, I guess there's a drug that's used for people with what's the name of that disease?
Malaria.
Lupus. Yeah, because people with lupus, there's like a drug that they can use, and like people who kind of rely on this drug, like they're taking it away from them so they can use it for patients that have corona because apparently it's a drug that can help relieve some of the pain and issues with it, but it's like
the problem
taking stuff from somebody else.
Yeah, it's the one that President Trump was talking about. It's the chloroquine hydro something. But
chlorine?
No, it's called chlorinique hydro something or hydro something chlorinique, and it was used for like a bunch of other stuff, and like he kept putting like all these, not promises, but he's like this has a promising thing for this virus, but it's like it's not FDA approved, it's never been proven drug for this particular virus, and then somebody went out and actually took chlorinique but the wrong kind, and it was basically like chlorine, and he died. And then his wife got super sick. So it's like, dude, you guys got to be careful out there. Like, even saying that a drug has promise in a time like this is really fucking dangerous, especially when it has not been tested against this particular virus, and it hasn't been human tested at all against this virus. So it's just like, people got to be real careful about what the fuck they say. So
did you?
We've seen this happen in Spider-Man 1 and then in Amazing Spider-Man 2, where you start taking medicine that is not fully tested, fully approved, and someone's just like, shit, no, I'm gonna drink it now, and blah, 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 and then they turn into fucking Green Goblin.
I like literally watched that movie yesterday too. Last night I was like, oh man, this is basically what's going on, taking shit that you next thing you know, you're chasing a fucking kid.
Did y'all see?
I'm something of a scientist myself.
Yeah.
Food. Hold on. Food is not a science. I'm putting that out now. But did y'all see the announcement that Johnson & Johnson put out that they are working on a vaccine and they will have experimental human trials in September, I believe.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's been. Go ahead.
It just shows how far away we are from getting like real. I guess I don't want to say real progress, but from getting something to help everyone, and that's a long ways away.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's been multiple. To
get experimental trials.
It's multiple companies that are actually working on the vaccine, and it's just like it takes time. They keep sharing these stories that the vaccine's out, but it's like it's not out. Like you can't have a vaccine overnight. You have to test it against people. You have to have human trials. You can't just put out a vaccine like hope for the fucking best. You have to make sure that it's safe for people.
The first rule of medicine is first do no harm. And if you don't know that it is safe for humans, then what you have is snake oil or poison.
Or poison, yeah. Which snake oil kind of is.
The best estimates from like World Health people and CDC that I've seen, and maybe this is maybe from a week ago. I don't know if it's obsolete anymore, but I heard 12 to 18 months for a vaccine is the normal expedited turnaround time.
Yeah.
So don't look for it anytime soon.
Yeah, and what's insane to me is that I have people that I'm friends with that are still doing this like super conspiracy theory about Bill Gates and everybody's trying to get like this one vaccine, blah 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 blah. I'm like, can you please explain to me like what's the end game in doing this? Like they're crashing the world economy. That's their money too. Like where the fuck do you think their money is? It's not in a goddamn savings account. Like they don't understand how the world works. And they're just like, yeah, Bill Gates is, he's part of all these organizations and trying to get this vaccine. I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like Bill Gates has spent over 35 billion of his own dollars on trying to make the world a better place through vaccines, clean waters, toilets, shit like that in other countries.
Yep.
He would have to, just in a business sense, there's no way that he'd be able to recoup that cost alone through releasing this virus. He would have already lost double that amount through stocks alone. And anytime I ask any conspiracy theorist about that, they just shut the fuck up. I'm like, yeah, because you don't think it through. It sounds like a cool conspiracy, but it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, they're losing money off all this shit. And what are they gonna? What is to gain from doing this?
He's one of the world's biggest. He and his wife, one of the world's biggest philanthropists you could ever imagine. And some people just see the fact that he has a whole bunch of money, and just attack. They're grasping at straws, trying to do this blame game stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Bill Gates is like, when somebody says, there shouldn't be billionaires, I'm like, well, what about Bill fucking Gates? Like, don't get me wrong, like, in the past, he's had a shitty attitude against some things, and I am not excusing that, but he is not, like, a vengeful... He's not a person that is trying to do harm to other people, especially at this point in his life. He's trying to, like, he recognizes the errors of his ways back in the day when it came to, like, monopolizing some certain things through software. But as far as his philanthropy goes, I don't see him as having like some kind of checkered fucking past. I see him trying to help people in countries where they need the most help. I don't see him trying to take over those countries. He's just trying to fucking help people. And for these lunatics that are out there talking all this shit about Bill Gates, it's like, can you please do some fucking research and like tell me how he's gonna make money or anything, or how is he gonna come out ahead from making a vaccine from this virus? Like, they're literally trying to say that he created the virus. And he put it out there. And I'm just like, dude, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, and if you're listening to this and you have some information that shows how he made this virus, definitely send it. I always will reserve my right to say that I'm wrong, but I'm like 99.999% sure that I'm fucking correct in this. And there is no value for him to make some kind of super fucking virus and then come up with a vaccine and then wait for it. Like, what they're doing is they're seeing his old videos where he warned about a pandemic like 5 fucking years ago. He did a TED Talk about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And he outlined how you can stop this, and nobody did what he said. Nobody did.
Yeah. He doesn't work for Umbrella Corp. Let's just start with that.
Yeah.
And then, secondly, the big thing with these conspiracy folks, you got one thing right, which was Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. Everybody knows. And now y'all trying to grasp the straws on other stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're all on board with, Epstein stuff. And now you want to go for Bill Gates. You can't make these leaps. Just stick with Epstein.
On another sad conspiracy note, what is with your bullshit about Overwatch being more iconic than Street Fighter?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh no.
Yeah, so... For me, and don't get me wrong, I love Street Fighter.
No, you don't. Don't even fucking lie.
No, you don't.
Yeah, no, yeah. I love on Street Fighter.
Do you own a Street Fighter?
Yeah, I've owned plenty of them. 3, 4, 2, and 5.
I think you're bullshitting.
If
I've never even seen you play Street Fighter.
If you love Street Fighter, you wouldn't disrespect it like this. That's what I'm saying.
Let him explain.
Yeah, let him explain.
Explain the hot take.
I compare this. It's kind of like how in the early 90s I loved the Michael Keaton Batman movies. And I thought those were really great movies. And at the same time, I think that the MCU Avengers is more iconic. So this is something where right now, and Overwatch has been out for 4 years. Everybody's been trying to imitate them when it comes to these loot boxes and this hero-based, team-based shooter stuff. Their characters are super well known. They've been on TV. They have their own tournaments on Disney Channel, cable channel, and all of that. They're selling all this loot. They're making billions of dollars for Activision Blizzard. These characters are incredibly iconic. And to me, even with just one game, they've slightly surpassed them.
Oh god.
No, it's not even close, bro.
No,
Not even close.
I mean, I think you have popular confused with iconic. I mean, there's one thing to be iconic and people trying to... Because I don't believe Overwatch is the first game to have loot boxes. It might be the one that celebrated loot boxes, but there are...
Widely popularized it.
Yeah, there's... Again...
Zelda had loot boxes.
Yeah, there's...
Did they make millions of dollars off of them? And like...
I mean, there's popularized versus the originator.
So Street Fighter has made billions of dollars.
No. I was specifically talking about the people buying literally like skins and other like costumes and making billions of dollars because they love these characters so much.
I
Well,
mean,
no,
you
because it
could
didn't
say
exist back then,
Fortnite
because it's
is
bullshit.
more iconic.
Loot boxes are bullshit, and you know that. Like
They're extremely lucrative. and
they
you know
are,
that.
but they're bullshit. It's bad for the gaming industry. Are you for loot boxes?
I don't
Microtransactions.
have any problem with loot boxes whatsoever. People can spend their money on whatever they want.
Okay, we're
If
gonna
that was
disagree.
the
I think
case-
loot boxes are fucking bullshit. So
Hold
I'll leave
on.
it at that.
If you were okay with loot boxes, then you would have bought Battlefront 2.
No, that was a shitty game.
No, it's not. That's actually a pretty decent game. The whole thing about the game was about its loot boxes and how it was pay to win. And people shit all over EA, Electronic Arts.
That was
because
another
they had-
example of someone trying to copy Overwatch from the loot boxes and stuff and doing it very, very poorly, and then eating all the internet hate, but still trying to copy
Exactly.
Overwatch.
All right, let's
That's what killed the game.
Yeah, but let's bring it back to Street Fighter. Okay, listen, Street Fighter literally created a genre. It is one of the highest selling arcade cabinets of all times. It's one of the highest selling fighting games of all time. It literally created the fucking genre. Overwatch did none of that. So, and if you want to say that their characters are not iconic, Chun-Li's thick ass thighs, Ken and Ryu, fucking Dalsim, all these characters are, like, if you say them all out loud, anybody listening to this podcast, even old people, they will know what the fuck Street Fighter is. If you say Overwatch to somebody that's like over the age of 60, they probably have no fucking idea what the fuck you're talking about. Like, you're appealing to really young people because the game is relatively new. But other than that, like, the game is it's nonsense to a lot of people. And Street Fighter is still played in tournaments to this day. Let's see if they're still playing Overwatch, from 35 years from now.
Yeah, but let's just be really honest though. The viewership for the league for Overwatch is through the fucking roof, man.
It is,
I mean,
but Evo is still a high seller as well. Like that's still a highly watched tournament. Wait, what? It doesn't, but it's one of their best. It's one of the games that is viewed the most. It's still to this day.
Nowhere near the Overwatch numbers, though, man. And what I'll say is, for the League of Overwatch, again, it's on cable TV for 3 fucking seasons.
I mean,
Evo's been around for more than 3 fucking seasons.
The other thing though is Overwatch actually surpassed in South Korea popularity of League and StarCraft. I mean,
Well, it's also because it's newer. I mean, no shit. When's the last StarCraft game been made?
StarCraft came out in like 15.
That's 5 years ago.
yeah.
So same with Overwatch came out in 16.
No, it was more. No. It was more than 2015. That was an expansion pack that came out in 2015.
I thought you were talking on this cast about StarCraft 3, right?
No. No. See,
2015?
this is how much you don't know the fuck you're talking about. StarCraft 2 is out. There's been 3 DLCs.
So what was the expansion that came out in 15 then, right?
It was the one. So they did different campaigns. You had the Zerg, the Protoss, and the Terran factions, and they released those at different times.
But there was a newer one that came out like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, I think it was the Protoss one. I have it because it's somewhere in this
What are you
garage.
talking about?
Yeah, but it wasn't StarCraft 3. It was basically there were expansion packs onto the StarCraft 2.
But I mean, in terms of appeal.
I mean, you're talking.
Like,
oh, go ahead, Stitch.
it's like, would you say that like Taylor Swift is more iconic than Madonna? That's like kind of seems like what you're sort of saying right now. Just you're like living in a brief.
So I'm not I'm specifically not a
You're in the material world, and you're a material girl's prodigy.
Yeah, I'm not a Taylor Swift fan at all, but I can certainly recognize that some newer artists are certainly equally or even more iconic than some of the ones that we grew up with.
Yeah, but let me just break it down for you right now. So EVO, the tournament, started in 2002, and it was started by Street Fighter. So it's Street Fighter 2 Turbo and Street Fighter Alpha 2. So it created literally this whole e-gaming thing in tournaments.
Pretty much.
So I don't see the argument there. Nobody's made a tournament just for Overwatch.
They do have a tournament. They literally have a league for Overwatch, and what I'm telling you is the popularity of it is ridiculous. Sorry.
Yeah, but they didn't start shit. They didn't start shit.
Yeah.
Street Fighter is literally
not
blazing
only that,
trail. Still.
As I pointed out to Prodigy before, Overwatch didn't really bring that much new to the table because most of its game modes were basically Unreal Tournament modes. So it was really just the porn parodies.
Same thing with Halo.
Were popular before the game came out.
And here's the thing, just like for Call of Duty having great sales and Halo and all of that, the characters for those games are nowhere near as popular as the Overwatch original characters.
What?
No, that's
Stop.
Blasphemous. Totally.
You could ask any random casual person. I could ask Lilo, Kronos could ask K-Mac, and I bet they could name 3 Street Fighter characters just randomly off the top of their head. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty confident they would not be able to name as many Overwatch characters. The regular casual.
I think
I think one thing people will be able to recognize is a dance move from Overwatch. I think that's it. Just the dancing, just flossing, and the Carlton, and this and that.
Yeah, but those dance moves existed before that game. That's a problem.
Yeah, that's the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah. And they got sued for it.
Well, you guys are confusing Fortnite dances, which are much more popular than Overwatch.
That's how bad I'm at Overwatch.
So I'll take it to expand on Stitch's point. If you said 3 names from Street Fighter, 3 of the big ones, you said Chun-Li, Ryu, Guile, people will automatically know what you're talking about. If you went to the same person and said Soldier 76, Reaper, and Mercy, they'd be looking at you like, what the fuck? Is that Tiger King?
They would have no idea.
What was that? They had no idea. Street Fighter characters from the OG were instantly recognizable just by name alone. Overwatch still does not have that.
I go to almost any, and we've been to Comic Cons and whatnot. You see plenty of Overwatch cosplay. They have one game, but the popularity of it is well established right now.
They got any live action movies coming? Is John Van Damme playing any of these characters?
Actually, do yourself a favor. Go on YouTube and look up the stats for any of the animated shorts that they have.
Live action.
Well, yeah.
How much money did that live action Street Fighter, and I love Raul Julia.
That's the last thing right before he died.
How much money did that make?
Dude,
it made more than the Overwatch movie.
Damn.
There you go.
Not win. Chun-Li. That's trump card right there.
Y'all are old.
Whatever. Look at that.
This is coming from the dude. This is coming from the guy with the most gray hair on this podcast, and it has like the most extreme fucking hair loss. And no ninja's older than you.
I'm just saying. everybody appreciates Activision and Blizzard when it comes to this original IP. I mean,
Not really. You do.
really?
And I'm a Blizzard fan. You know that. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit there and say that that Overwatch is more popular or is more iconic than Street Fighter. That's asinine.
No,
Yeah.
no. You actually misquoted me. I was actually talking about the characters themselves.
Still,
Okay.
same thing.
Same thing.
Same
Yeah.
applies.
Same deal.
applies.
I stick to my guns.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at Street Fighter overall, there's way more content involving Street Fighter throughout its 30 plus years of history than Overwatch at this point in time.
Let me ask
So,
you
I mean-
this. Let me ask you this then. Are you of the opinion that there are no games that are original IPs, despite sales and all of that, that are more iconic than any games that we've grown up with? You're
Well,
saying maybe like Minecraft and Fortnite wouldn't be more iconic than
So well, this
So I want to say
Go ahead.
this. There's a difference between iconic and popular.
I
So
agree.
iconic means that they basically, like Cronus said, blaze the trail. They influence ones that come after them, and I would say there's a handful of games because a lot of games are built on the structure of other games that did really well.
Of course.
So I would say there's a few games that stand out, like Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead kind of stands out because it was like new at its time, and a lot of people weren't doing what they were doing, and it had different mechanics. Currently, it's hard to say because we're playing a lot of games. Apparently, it's hard to say one that like is a complete cut above that doesn't have the same kind of mechanics or whatnot.
yes.
I mean,
I can
also-
answer the question. All right.
Go ahead.
So listen, Unreal is one of the games that you're talking about. It's one of the games that most people did not appreciate, especially to this day, because they didn't play it. But it influenced so many fucking games, and it's one of those games to where it obviously was not the first-person shooter, but it was the first-person shooter that was so large in scale, and it did a lot of things that other first-person shooters were not doing. They introduced vehicles first. They had kind of like the whole sandbox thing first. And it gets literally no love from most gamers because either they weren't alive at the time, or they were too young to play the game, or they just kind of forgot about it. But there would have been no Halo if there was no Unreal. And the Unreal Engine actually fuels a lot of most people's favorite games to this day.
Probably, yeah. I would say like half of the games that are out there now are probably on the Unreal Engine. The other half are probably on like on the hodgepodge of a bunch of other engines.
Yeah, like
But I think another game, Portal's another game I would say, but that still feels like a little bit of Unreal in that as well.
So, in terms, if we're specifically talking about influential games from modern gen, you got to mention, and I know you guys don't play them, but you got to mention Demon Souls, Dark Souls, because you see the influence all over the fucking place with all these other third person melee based action adventure or hardcore RPGs.
well, yeah, I would say it is iconic because it literally created a whole new genre, right? As far as like how hard it was and like that style of RPG, but none of that applies to Overwatch.
So what are the other hero based shooters that have had popular characters then?
Oh,
Well,
Commander Shepard. Commander Shepard.
That's an RPG, man.
Yeah, but still, you're comparing a fighting game to a first-person shooter, so
No,
Why can't
I was talking about like you're saying that there's nothing from the standpoint of Overwatch having, I guess, influence, which I do disagree with. I think it's the first thing you think of for hero-based shooter, and I also think it was the major influence of all these other folks trying to do their loot boxes in a super profitable way.
I disagree.
Your character, right?
None of that. Overwatch never comes to mind when stuff like that pops up. At least not to me.
Was
In
there someone
Overwatch, don't you only
earlier? Was there someone earlier that I'm
your
forgetting?
camera from the back?
Wait, Blue? What are you trying to say? I can't.
No, I'm just saying, like with Street Fighter, you get to see your character as you're fighting. Where with Overwatch, you're just seeing. Isn't it a third-person shooter? Don't you just see their back?
It's first
The
person.
first person.
Oh, so you didn't even get to see the character at all.
Well, see, that's what's so interesting to me though, because in most first-person shooters, especially with multiple characters and whatnot, there's not a whole lot of attachment unless you're playing like as a Doom guy or someone in Call of Duty where you're playing as just that one character. Most of the time for a first-person shooter, people don't care about a whole fucking motley crew of characters because it is in first person. This one is different.
Well, Modern Warfare is different now because if you ask Stitch, who actually paid for a loot box that gave him a specific character that has his own little style or whatnot, because in the current Modern Warfare, each character has their own like finishing move.
So hold on, hold on.
That character.
Hold on, Prodigy. Do you consider Rainbow Six Siege a hero shooter? Because it is.
It is a first-person team-based shooter. It's not hero-based.
But you pick different characters, right, to play in the game?
Yes, you do.
And they have different abilities?
Yeah.
That's a hero-based shooter. And it came out before Overwatch.
Okay. It did come out before Overwatch, but there's nowhere near the popularity of those characters compared to Overwatch.
But what I'm saying, though, is that's one of the main reasons why it is not... I don't consider it as iconic as you do, is because there were games that came out before that game that were similar. Not exactly the same, but they use a similar formula. When Street Fighter came out, there was literally 0 fighting games out. 0.
And I respect that about Street Fighter's history. For Rainbow Six, when did that come out? 15?
Yeah, it was 2015. Yeah.
Yeah, and I will say this too. At launch for Rainbow Six, it was a pretty weak launch.
Yeah, but you even still play the game, don't you?
No,
yeah, I mean it's still very popular.
Definitely very popular. I'm just trying to point out too, though. It was one of those rare games that actually built its popularity from nothing over years and years and years. Yeah. Whereas, right off the bat, the beta had 10 million plus with Overwatch.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but for me, it's the same thing. Like the complaints that I have with Halo being that popular is the same reason why I'm just like, hey, there was a game that was just like Halo called Unreal, and Unreal gets all this accolades, and for some reason, Unreal does not. And it's kind of the same deal. Like Rainbow Six Siege had the same formula, but it wasn't as popular. It's popular now, but it came out. There was actually another game that came out way before both those games, but I'm not going to mention it because it's kind of obscure. So
yeah.
Wait, go ahead, mention it.
I think it was called was it Outrigger? Yeah, and that was on like the fucking Sega. It was on a Dreamcast in like 2001. So
do you?
Okay.
The other thing I will point out, though, for Rainbow Six, and I know you, obviously, Stitch, you played a bunch of this one. There's a very big difference in terms of your tactical team-based shooting in that one and what you do for your ult attack and all this other stuff in Overwatch. I mean, they're drastically different, even though I agree, both team-based.
Yeah.
But you do not have specialized ultimate attacks or anything close to that in Rainbow Six. Or anything coordinated.
Correct,
yeah. I mean, it's okay to say
that
they might have improved upon or added to the formula, but it's still a formula that already existed. So, and this is coming from a guy. I love Blizzard, and they cannibalized the game to make Overwatch. They cannibalized it was their Ghost game to make Overwatch. So, it was StarCraft Ghost. They cannibalized that game to make Overwatch.
I mean, and here's the thing, they took a risk with the original IP. We can't say that this game wasn't extremely successful.
No, I'm not knocking that at all. Yeah.
I'm not saying that, but popular versus iconic, those are two different things to me.
Yeah.
And they span. One spans, the other one is just in the moment. And another game that you like yourself that we're all playing currently is Borderlands. Borderlands is another first-person shooter game that has characters that they also have ultimates, as you're talking about, but each one has their own unique abilities with billions of guns.
Very, very different mode in terms of that being semi-open world right from the very beginning, and this being PvP versus PvE in Borderlands. So very different mode style.
And Borderlands is Borderlands is an RPG in my opinion. It's a first person RPG.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
I mean, Prodigy was comparing a fighting game to a first-person shooter. So.
But just from the character standpoint, though, and here's the thing: what I remember from especially Street Fighter 2 is the popularity of Ryu, Ken, Guile, Chun-Li from Street Fighter 2, all of the bosses right off the bat. People were doing their own fan art in the early '90s of them, and all of that other stuff was going wild. I remember that.
They still do.
So.
Yeah,
they still do. So I will tell you this.
Right.
Before there was Overwatch porn, there was Street Fighter hentai. So
and there's still Street Fighter hentai to this day.
Of course. But the amount of Overwatch hentai is ridiculously for as long as the game has been out. By comparison.
It's because it's newer. I mean, you got to be honest.
It is.
Yeah.
And back then,
and the characters are they have more hot girls. That's the other thing too. You got to be honest about. Besides,
back
two different eras.
Back then, it was Chun-Li, and that was it.
No, it's more than Chun-Li. There's the Capoeira girl.
Yeah, you couldn't even really get away with blood in those fighting games. Like, I mean, it
wasn't until like Street Fighter Super Edition that they introduced Cammy.
Yeah, Cammy came. Yeah, Cammy came when this.
That was Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition. Yeah, that was actually not that far away from Street Fighter 2, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Where Cammy got introduced.
Yep. And then they slowly introduced more females.
Yeah, they certainly did, but come on now, Mercy and Diva and goddamn.
Who's the name?
I don't know any of these people. I don't know.
Who's the name?
Terrible.
Are they on Tiger King or not?
Speaking of Street Fighter, High Score Girl on Netflix is getting their second season. I think it comes out this Friday. So if you haven't checked that out, season 1, you should definitely check it out. It's basically about a girl who's a fucking bomb-ass player at Street Fighter. And she beats this one dude who's a badass. Yeah, it's really fucking good. It's an anime. It's on Netflix. And like this, it's like a rich girl who never played a video game in her life, but she started playing Street Fighter, and she basically kicks ass in the fucking tournament using
Guile,
I think
right?
her character.
Was it a Guile?
I can't remember the character that she used. Huh?
I think I watched the first one. I thought it was Guile.
No, the main guy uses Guile.
Oh.
That was his go-to guy.
Yeah.
But the girl, she used somebody else. But like, she literally played against this guy, and she beat him using all the low kick buttons because all the high kick buttons were broken.
That's embarrassing.
That's how fucking good she was. And this guy was like damn near a professional Street Fighter player. But yeah, you should definitely check it out on Netflix.
Right on.
Okay.
Should we get into some of these Netflix shows? Because I know we've been all like quarantined and binging.
Can we talk about Tiger King?
Well, I want to hear Cronus's takes on Tiger King since he's finished it.
Oh my god! Oh my god! This fucking show. So I was not prepared to watch this show. I didn't know what to think. I was just like, Tiger King, y'all talking shit about it. I'm like, all right, let's watch it. And then me and K-Mac were after the first episode, we're like, we're all in. Like the way they cut it was like so good. I was just like, dude, this is so trashy, but I can't stop watching. And then when I heard that Carol fucking Baskin killed her husband, I was just like, dude, what the fuck? What the fuck? That's insane.
Dude, that diss track though.
What's up?
The diss track that the Tiger King made, the Here Kitty Kitty.
Oh yeah, yeah. I feel bad for that guy for Joe because I feel like he was like an internet troll that just got caught up. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't gonna really try to kill her, but yeah, he did bad things definitely, but I don't think he tried to kill Carol Baskin. And there's like other people in the show that were just like, they're all fucking scumbags. Like the only people that aren't scumbags is like maybe the head zookeeper guy. Maybe probably wasn't a douchebag, but even him, he had like clowns on his fucking fake legs, and I was just like, that's kind of fucking sketchy. Like a juggalo is the hold on, a juggalo is the fucking head of this zoo. Like for real.
Yep. Well, hey, the thing that the only thing that really pissed me off though is using expired Walmart meat for your pizza.
Oh yeah, and feeding it to like all the employees.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
all the way bad.
and then with the whole thing about Saf like losing her arm, I was just like, dude, what the fuck?
Oh, so
I like how the internet had those memes going out. How Joe fucking ran off and got an EMT fucking bomber jacket, put that shit on first.
Like he was gonna fucking save her.
Yeah, holy shit.
someone was saying online, I don't know if this is true. I have no way of verifying it, but they were saying that the crew at the zoo kept calling Saf her, but she had transitioned and they just didn't respect it and said fuck you and you're gonna just be her, and that's how the documentary creators do. I didn't know.
I heard that too, that he's a trans man, but
I guess I don't know. Anyway,
I mean, I figured I didn't figure that she transitioned. I just figured that she was gay. But the fact that she did transition, it's like, okay, like, you know, that's life how it is. But you're missing a fucking arm. I think that's a little bit more important to me. You had your fucking arm ripped off by a goddamn tiger.
Well, the thing was that it actually wasn't ripped off.
And then he ran into the gift shop.
Yeah, so the arm wasn't ripped off. Because remember, she was saying how she remembered, or he remembered, that he was signing paperwork with that same arm. Yeah. And then they were like, well, it's going to be either rehab for like however many months, or we could just cut it off. And he was just like, well, fuck it, cut it off.
And it wasn't the tiger didn't rip off the arm or whatever. I guess the tiger pulled her arm in, and it got shredded by the fucking gate.
Yeah.
But yeah, still, you don't have an arm.
But yeah, the part where the second husband blew his brains out, that part had me like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And then the part where Jeff, I think it's like in episode 6, where they're asking the first boyfriend, they're like, oh, so at what point did you realize that Jeff was working with the feds? And he's like, huh?
Yeah.
Feds? He had like no idea about that whole aspect.
Jeff looked like fucking Chris. Jeff looked like Chris from Family Guy, Chris Griffin.
Yeah.
The one with the missing teeth, the meth head, holy shit, it kept irritating me. He kept looking in the goddamn camera saying, you know, I was like girls all my life. I'm straight. You got Joe Exotic's name tatted all over your body and you married him. You not that goddamn straight.
No, he doesn't just have a tattoo. He has a tattoo that says Joe Exotic's property.
Well,
like right on his fucking happy trail.
Yeah, the best thing to me was at the end of the whole season when he got the cover-up tattoo, and it's like you can still read behind the cover-up tattoo the letters. I was just like, bruh, are you fucking for real? It's not even big enough to like cover it all up. Like, what the fuck?
No, but you not straight, dude. Like you not fooling nobody.
I think hold on. I'll give some concessions. I think that guy just really liked meth and tigers, and he was like, if I can get meth and tigers, I'm gonna suck some dicks. Like, I think that's what he was all about.
He went both ways for tiger and meth. I'm fine, but
hey, since he was missing all those teeth, he probably gave really good head.
Oh
yeah. Ow.
Yeah, this show has been it's like iconic TV. Everybody's home watching Netflix, and this one just fucking sucks you in. You know, fucking.
I love the meme that said like Disney Plus dropped Frozen 2, Netflix fucking dropped Tiger King.
Yeah, man. People can't get enough of it. I keep thinking about it. The more I fucking go back and forth, because like he's still locked up and he did some messed up stuff, but I don't necessarily believe Joe was trying to actually hire a hitman for that amount of money to kill her.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. All the witnesses. It just seemed like a sketchball case. Like with all the people involved, it's like you don't have like a solid witness out of any of those clowns. They all scumbags with ulterior motives to try to screw over the next person. So it's whatever.
Jeff, I guess he was under investigation because he bought a stolen Hummer, and plus he had like an illegal fucking monkey in his goddamn office or some shit like that. Like
a lemur.
Yeah, lemur. Yeah. He had fucking Madagascar in his fucking office.
The one that got me was when Joe remarried, and then he invited what's his name, the one who killed himself's mom, to the ceremony 2 months later, and I was like, what the fuck, Joe? You know,
Wow.
like he's off the. Now there is video that was not part of the actual Netflix series where he's claiming he deserves the right to say the N-word it as many times as he wants. Have you seen this?
I did.
Yeah, I saw that.
And,
Yeah.
my comment was, I bet Carol fucking Baskin says the N-word, doesn't ask for permission. I'm just saying, she seems like that kind of bitch.
Are we surprised?
No. It all fits. It all fits. Meth, gay, a zoo range,
Country
zoo
music.
tiger, country music.
Yeah, I'm obviously not giving the guy a pass. Definitely, I don't think anybody should say the fucking N-word. And like giving the excuse of, oh, he's a redneck or blah, blah, blah. No, fuck that. That's still a racist word to say. So if you say it, you're racist. So
I hate when
There's no black people around either.
yeah. If you had one black guy on the staff, he'd understand.
But okay,
He didn't call Shaq the N-word, did he?
Mm-mm.
I hate that one saying that people always say like, oh, they get to use the word, like, why can't I? It's like nobody should really be using that word.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't use it.
Yeah, dude,
I'm one of those
Shaq
people
was
that don't use it. So
Yeah, Shaq was on it. Shaq has been trying to backpedal and be like, I didn't know what was going on and all that stuff. I'm like, man, just say it was an old footage. You ain't gotta explain shit.
yeah.
Exactly.
Barely fucking in it. All right.
But I'm assuming Halloween's gonna be lit with a bunch of fucking Joe Exotic costumes.
Oh, yeah. Blue, did you finish any of that furry Judy
Yes.
Pops
Yes.
release
Yes.
woman
Yes.
throwing that sexy bunny pussy?
Yes.
What do you think?
I've been looking at bunnies different ever since, man.
Oh my god.
So yeah,
So bad.
Project's been talking about this anime called Beastars, and yeah, it's basically Zootopia with a little bit of hentai as an anime. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, there's a bunny who can't help herself but to fuck. Like, she, like, literally, like, in the first episode, she's already, like, taking off her clothes to get fucked by this wolf. And she fucked the wolf, she fucked the reindeer, she fucked the other bunny, the other female bunnies mad at her boyfriend. And they're like, I guess, they're a dangerous species, and she's pissed off about that, and she's fucked like lemurs and all kind of different animals. But it's crazy because she like just can't fucking help it.
Well,
And
she's
everybody
fucking like bunnies.
He's like yes, basically she's a fucking bunny, being a bunny. But like she is like, I guess everybody looks at her as being like vulnerable, so they're all trying to protect her because she looks so innocent. But like, yeah, it's fucking crazy. And she gets kidnapped by a pack of lions who wants to fucking eat her, and the shit just go down from there, man. This show changed my life on how I looked at animals, like relationships.
Man, you guys got to read
I
fucking.
don't know how animals live anymore after watching this.
Y'all got to read A Natural. It's such a good
I
fucking.
will.
Seriously, you get like this thick ass pig chick that doesn't want to fuck other pigs.
She thick as hell because she got big old thighs on her.
Yeah. Have you read it? Oh, Ninja.
I read like the first or when we were doing our stuff with Elusive Comics.
Okay.
They had it was featured. It was like one of the owners recommended reads, and I was like, what is this? And there's like nudity and shit in the comics. So I read I didn't finish the whole thing, but I read the first couple pages where I was like, dude, this is actually really good. So
I read the
never
whole
got
series.
a chance to finish it.
Yeah.
I did myself a huge disservice, but from what I read, it was actually really good.
Are there carnivores feeling bad about their whole sexual exploration and inexperience?
It's
well,
it is
sort
about
of.
sexual-
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's about sexual orientation as a farm animal, I guess.
Yeah. No,
Dude,
Yeah,
going back to Beefstar, there's this one part where there's a chicken who basically sells her fucking eggs to like the school's cafeteria or whatever, so they can make like food out of it. And just thinking about the chicken selling their fucking, like, if you look at it as a woman having like her ovaries, whatever, the eggs that she produced, think of it that way. And I'm like, oh dude, that's so fucking disgusting. She like literally has an orgasm because this one wolf likes her fucking eggs that he's eaten right in front of her. Yeah, it's fucking weird, dude.
That's that is some interspecies reviewer shit.
Yes. Look,
You guys gotta check it out. It's worth watching. It's Stitch, you're watching it, right?
I'm watching it.
Yeah, I've watched like 3 episodes. It's pretty crazy. It's entertaining, but it's crazy.
And old Ninja, you said you started it?
I'm about 4 or 5 episodes in. I'm like halfway through, at least.
You've been fapping to
I'm-
Judy Hopscorn now or no?
So right now it focuses on Legoshi,
Yeah.
where he's just like conflicted about what he wants to do. He wants to be awkward and nerdy, but everyone wants him to be a bully, I guess, sort of. So I'm on that kind of arc. I haven't gotten to this other shit yet.
It's coming. It's coming. Cannot fucking wait.
All right, let's,
Yeah, I'm literally halfway through.
all right. Have y'all played the latest Borderlands DLC?
Not yet, no.
What the fuck is wrong with you
We-
people?
No, but I fucking downloaded it.
So I downloaded it, but you know what I fucked up on? I did some dumb shit. Accidentally, I started went from normal mode to mayhem, but it restarts the fucking game. And so I
That's
have to
no.
get-
You talking about True Vault Hunter mode?
For True Vault Hunter. That's
Yeah,
what-
you fucked up then. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have to wait till I get to Sanctuary, and then I'll start it.
Yeah, when I was saying, yeah, you misunderstood because I told you earlier this week, I was like, do Mayhem mode, not True Vault Hunter mode. That's different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
so
anyway.
You have to pass the game first before you can do mayhem mode.
yeah, you do. You have to beat the game before you do
Okay.
Mayhem mode. Actually, yeah, it's post game, and you have like I think it's 4 different levels of Mayhem right now that you can do, and basically, if you beat Borderlands 3 and you want to get better loot, you have to up the Mayhem mode. So it makes the game harder, but you get better loot. So what happens is whenever you up your Mayhem mode, it's just gonna get like way harder until you get like better loot, and then it'll become easier, and then eventually it'll make that Mayhem mode seem easy, and then you go to the next one. So like right now with Moe's, I'm at like Mayhem level 1. I'm about to up to level 2, but for like my Zane character, I'm like Mayhem level 3. So yeah, he's got
That's kind
a.
of dope. That they did that.
Oh yeah, it definitely extends the game. And
Yeah.
you guys
The
see
other night,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say the other night I was playing with Kronos on on Borderlands 3, and like this is how insane it was. So I was like, we were going against the Penn and Teller character,
Yeah.
and like literally, Kronos shows up on the scene. I think I'm like level 30. I think I'm 41 at this moment, and so he shows up on the scene, and we go against the big bad guy, big boss. Kronos killed this guy in less than 5 bullets. Like, that's how insane it was.
I threw a grenade.
He showed up on the scene, and half of his energy's already gone. I'm like, what the hell? And Kronos is like, oh, sorry, dude, I used the wrong button. I'm like, use the wrong fucking button? Like, what were you supposed to throw some shit? And then like 3 seconds later, the character's fucking dead. But I got all the loot. It's all that matters.
Get
Yeah.
that loot.
I'm telling you guys, the fucking y'all, everybody slept on the DLC that was free. It was the I forget, it was like the Halloween one. Yeah. They had
Halloween one.
they had the best fucking grenade in the entire game. It's called the Ghost Call, and I have 3 or 4 of them, and one of them was level 50. And so basically, what happens is when I throw out one grenade, 2 comes out, and then once it hits, it does corrosive damage, and then like a whole shitload of fucking ghost skulls just like engulf the screen. And like,
Yeah, I remember that one.
yeah, and they attack everybody. But with Moe's, I have like 18 grenades, so I can just keep throwing them, and it does so much fucking damage.
Love that shit.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
So I was playing before I made my mistake with the True Vault Hunter mode. I was playing the first DLC, which was the Moxie Casino Handsome Jack one.
Oh yeah, so
Hence
much fun.
The heist.
Yeah, that one I'm liking even more than a lot of missions in the main campaign. So
Oh man, wait until you play Guns, Love and Tentacles. That's like right up your alley, man. Because it's all fucking Lovecraftian. You know, it's all
Yeah.
tentacles and fucking weird ass fucking
like-
stories and shit.
Is it like love? Isn't like the 2 characters are gay in the story or whatever?
Yeah, yeah,
They're a couple. I think they're
Yeah,
married.
They're engaged.
Wainwright and Hammerlock.
yeah.
Yeah. Either they're married or about to be married or something like that.
Yeah, this
they're hilarious.
This is like their wedding story.
It
It's
ain't-
like they got
Okay,
engaged, and
there
then
you
this
go.
is like their wedding story.
Oh, right on.
did they add Gage?
It ain't no like Joe
Yes.
Exotic marriage.
Well,
Did they add that one character Gage yet?
yeah, well, they added her as like a character, but not as like a character you can play. So she's like an actual
Ah.
character in the story. She's the wedding planner,
Oh, okay.
and you actually
like how-
you get to use Death Trap in the game, so it's pretty cool.
Nice.
I like how in Borderlands that what's her name? The girl with the bombs succession. What's her name?
Oh,
Tiny
Girl with the
Tina.
bombs.
Tiny Tina. My favorite
Tiny
character.
Tina. How
Yeah.
she's going up.
Oh yeah.
And she's like, I'm at the point right now where she's talking about like her relationships. Like she's into girls and stuff like that, but she talks about how crazy all of them are and this and that. And she's like, they all got daddy issues, something issues, this and that, this and that. But I'm the same one. I'll blow all those bitches up.
So great.
She is so fucking funny.
Yeah, and that was the one. I know we were talking about it, Old Ninja. That was the Ashley Burke voiced character. Is that it?
I believe so. I think you brought it up to me. If
Okay.
that's because I thought it was Tara Strong, because it kind of sounds like her, but apparently, I believe if it's her, which would be this if it is her, it's the same actress as who
No,
voices Aloy.
it's Ashley
Horizon
Birch.
Zero Dawn. Okay, yeah, that's the same actress. Then.
Okay.
Same actress that voices Aloy in Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
I like
no,
how
she-
she's celebrities in Borderlands 3. Like we got Ice-T and Penn and Teller on there. It's kind of cool.
The cool thing is, like, Ice-T has always loved some fucking video games. His association with Gears, that Gears franchise was fucking iconic and whatnot too.
That was amazing.
Yeah, so I mean, I like the fact that he's lending his voice acting talent to it. I want to see him doing more voice acting.
Yeah.
He needs to get on that B-Stars. We need him on that.
Oh my god.
Shit.
I need a dog on there like talking shit.
Damn,
Like, man,
Uh,
yeah, fuck that bunny.
that could be fucking
Speaking
good, man.
of, speaking of which, kind of slight segue. Did y'all see that there is more Rick and Morty coming in May, in literally a month? There's a trailer that dropped. It's posted on their Facebook page. Did y'all
Yeah,
see
but
this?
it's April Fool's Day, so.
True. It is, but I mean, there's an actual pretty like a 2-minute trailer, pretty much.
Well, did you watch the trailer of? It was not a trailer, but the video of him doing like a samurai shit with Morty.
yeah, that's like
Yeah, I
5
saw
minutes
that.
long. Saw that one.
That shit was awesome.
And my Rick.
Yeah,
I was
I hope it's true. I thought that for season 4 they had split it up with a hiatus in the middle, but it was supposed to be coming back later this year.
I thought
So,
that was later this year too.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know they're moving around schedules because of the coronavirus. So
Yep.
like with movies, they're canceling or just dropping them on digital, and with some shows they're dropping them early or doing like these weird schedules. So I wouldn't be surprised, but also maybe not announce it on April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, although I'm not sure if it was 100% confirmed, but Mulan and Scarlet Black Widow is supposed to be dropped digitally. I'm not sure if it's been confirmed or if it's 100% accurate, but I mean, I imagine Black Widow being like a super popular movie, and they would push that one back. And Mulan, it's like, yeah, I'm not sure how that one's gonna roll out. But what do you guys feel about that? If they were to release Black Widow and Mulan to Disney Plus?
Well, I mean, if they did it, so listen, people that are thinking that maybe this is a bad idea about releasing, these things that are supposed to be in movie theaters on like Disney Plus, this is only going to draw more people to Disney Plus. And then for people, like, the cost of Disney Plus is like, it's nominal, but at the same time, it's around the cost of a theater ticket for most areas besides California, New York, and some parts of Texas, and maybe Seattle. And if somebody signs up for Disney Plus just to watch that movie and they don't cancel it, then they're going to keep making their money. So they're going to see like their whole catalog. So for me, it makes sense. It's the way to really prop up a residual moneymaker rather than a one-time purchase with a movie in the theaters. Even though the ticket price maybe costs more, but you'll still make that up if they keep staying with Disney Plus. So I would expect that Disney Plus is going to have an uptick in viewership and subscriptions in the next coming weeks and months because of this.
So I haven't heard it being absolutely confirmed. Like, do they have an actual hard date for release?
Let me look.
I
'Cause
haven't seen any fake news for them. I saw this. I saw it on Facebook. I don't
Yeah.
remember the exact release date.
No. I mean, yeah. Look, if you like Disney movies and Marvel movies, then sure. I'm sure you're going to watch it, or steal someone else's account and watch it, or get your own account.
Do you guys think, like, with the whole coronavirus situation, how movie theaters or movie companies are releasing the movies basically digitally, Do you think this is the end of movie theaters once life kind of get back to normal?
I still don't think so.
They're
Like,
gonna be
remember,
fucked.
but remember, literally last year, the highest grossing movie of all time dropped, and we were all in theaters, worldwide, watching Endgame, and it made almost $3 billion.
That was the only way you can watch it though. Like if you imagine if you were able to sit inside your house, play one flat rate so your whole family can see it, do you think you'd have went to the theaters to watch it?
If I didn't have any fears of this crazy ass virus, I still would love to go see a big movie like James Bond, Fast and the Furious, or Avengers with people. That'd be my preference.
Well, you
as
can
long
watch,
as it's
watch
not
with people at home. So I've been an advocate for watching movies at home for like at least 10 fucking years, because the one thing that theaters had prior to like the past 15 years is that you had a superior viewing experience than you had at home. But once you came out with 1080p screens and now 4K screens and Dolby Digital and all these other fucking incredible sound systems that you can have at your home, if you have those at your home, you are not missing shit that you're missing in the theater that is not available in the theater. So
Well, you're missing being with people though. Like, that's
then come over and hang out. Like I don't really give a shit. Like
Yeah.
why can't you do that? In your pretend world, I watch a movie at home and you can't come over and hang out.
No.
You can't. You can see it with a limited amount of people at someone's home. I get that.
Wait,
It's-
go ahead. Go ahead.
Right?
Sorry. Yeah, I mean that's true. But do you talk to the people that you are in the theater with that you don't know afterwards? I don't. I get the fuck out and go home.
No.
Go around.
I get angry when people are talking in the theater.
I'm not for the people talking or whatever or interrupting the show, but there is something that's fun about the experience of a whole theater like that opening weekend, loving a fucking movie and standing up and cheering.
Wait.
To be honest, I would say the best thing about the theaters is when you go see a movie with your significant other, at least in the theater, they won't ask you questions. When you're at home, they're like, what the hell's going on? Like, who's that bad guy? Like, I don't remember him. Like, do I need to watch the last episode to see, like, understand what's going on?
You just punch him in the mouth, dude. That's what I do. I'm just saying, definitely don't punch him in the mouth. No, but I mean, hold on. Prodigy, I'm asking you honestly. Are people being in the theater with you enjoying the same experience? Does that really enhance your experience in watching a movie that you want to see?
For the majority of them, if it's just something that I'm kind of okay about seeing, I'm not super excited, then no. But if it is something, again, like a James Bond, Fast and the Furious, Avengers level that we've been anticipating for months and whatnot, I do enjoy that experience of even seeing it with people who I don't know or a large group of friends in the theater. That would be my preference. Again, if the price is completely neutral, I'd love to see it. Still see some things in the theater. The majority, I do want to see at home, but for certain special events, yeah, man.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was gonna ask.
Okay,
you,
so for me it's different. Like I don't really give a shit about anybody else in the theater. I'm just there to like have the viewing experience. If I can do it at home, or if I'm with friends, it's even cooler. But I can have the same amount of friends at my house watching the same movie. I don't give a shit about people that I don't know enjoying the same thing that I'm doing. It's like watching a porn movie with a bunch of strangers. I don't give a shit about the strangers.
We all four of us went to the hentai review thing at Fanime. That was awesome.
It was awesome.
That was
But at the same time, it's like, y'all could not be here too.
Yeah, guys, please leave the room. I need a little private time.
Yeah. I mean,
Speaking of watching movies together, like I know Netflix added a feature where you can I think it was a mobile app you can install, but like you can basically have a Netflix watching party.
Yeah.
And I guess it's basically like a chat room you can set up where you and whoever you invite can chat about the movie, but it's all, I guess, text-based. Like,
So
what are your thoughts on that?
that works really well if it's a movie that we've all seen before and it's beloved and we can like talk shit while we're watching it. But if I'm seeing it for the first time, I don't want any annoying chat shit going on. Like if it's my first time viewing.
Well, I think it would be cool if it was like a video type thing. Like, you know how we do reacts to like videos and stuff like that? If we're like there's like videos where we're kind of talking to each other and reacting to it. That's cool, but texting, like I'm too busy watching the movie. I'm not gonna fucking sit there and look at my phone to be able to text back like, oh, I can't believe that bitch grabbed that guy by his ass or some shit like that.
I mean,
Stitch,
if you're watching
here, what were
any
you saying?
stream,
No, I'm the same way. Like I when I'm watching movies in the theater, like Krona said, I'm more concerned about like the sound effects, the screen, the music, the sound and everything. I don't care if there's less people in the theater, I'm more happy because then I don't have to worry about people laughing and me missing dialogue or whatever and just missing lines and stuff like that and all these other tiny annoyances that I seem to always find happening when I go to the movie theater.
I feel you. So, let me ask you this though: are there any movies? I guess besides Wonder Woman is coming out in August, but everything else seems to be pushed either back or not happening in 2020 at all.
Well, there was one recently. So Onward dropped super early onto Amazon Cinema, which I watched at home with my youngest daughter, and that was fantastic. And there was like actually two other movies that dropped out of the theaters
Also,
super early.
The movie with Vin Diesel dropped straight to
Yeah, Bloodshot.
Like,
Yeah.
Bloodshot,
Bloodshot,
that-
yeah.
video on demand now.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I will eventually, partake in some of those, but I would love to see Wonder Woman in the theater.
I mean, I want to have the option, right? So I wish they would have like in the theater still, but then also, I don't mind paying $20 to watch it at home. Seriously, I would literally pay $20 to watch a movie in the theaters at home for like a day rental, and I'd be fine with that.
Oh, so you're saying rental, so you don't own it for that 20?
No, because I mean they need a way to preserve the revenue, and so it'd be unreasonable for me to expect them to drop own the movie the day it dropped. So they need to make the revenue somehow, and that'd be reasonable to me. Like a 24-hour rental, and then after a certain amount of months, then you can buy it.
Gotcha.
Oh, speaking of which,
Because
you're
I mean,
talking about-
oh
you're
sorry,
talking
hold on,
about-
real quick, because
Right.
it would fuck up the revenue stream when they do like the way they calculate how much a movie made, in a certain amount of time. If you just bought it, you could just keep showing it over and over again to everybody else. A one-day rental, I think, is the kind of a go-between to like make a stopgap.
Yeah,
for-
I mean we've seen the model plenty of times for years and years, like especially with like the
Music.
DC animated movies. They go direct to video or direct to Blu-ray or DVD.
Well, you can look at it like with music, because music is a lot of music. Like a lot of people aren't buying fucking CDs anymore. They're basically streaming the music. But like if you have Pandora or whatever, like their sales count toward how many times that item is streamed. And I think it's like every 10,000 stream is like one record sale to them
Oh damn.
in the business.
Well, the way I was kind of thinking about it is like, okay, wouldn't they still be losing money though, right off the bat, if it was getting streamed to homes? Like, for example, if you're bringing like a family of 5 to the movie theater, that's like a $60 just to walk through just to get a ticket and everything. But if you are just releasing that at home, that's just a one-time fee of $20, I guess. Or I mean, I don't know what would be a fair price point to put that at, but Hollywood would still be losing a bunch of money, I would imagine, by doing that.
Yeah,
they're not getting those ticket sales per person.
I don't mind paying more, but I think $20 is like a good starting point to like watch it, right? But there's also people that are like Prodigy, and they're probably thinking the same way that he's thinking. It's like, hey, I'd rather go watch it in theaters, which is fine. I think that if they had because most people, the vast majority of people, do not have a decent home theater system, so they're always going to want to go to the theater. So I know that Prodigy has a large TV, but he doesn't have a good sound system at his house, so that's going to definitely detract from his viewing experience. I happen to have a decent sound system and a decent TV, like a good TV, and I make decent popcorn at home. But so for me, the experience is not lost.
Right. Well, from our end, it would be great as the consumer because we would save money and then we'd be able to watch in the own comfort of our home. But for like a whatever, a movie production company or whatever, they would be losing money hand over fist.
Well, it
theory,
depends.
right?
I mean,
Yeah,
they
I don't
probably
think it'd be
make
that
the
bad.
numbers that they want. Yeah, they won't be making the numbers to one. Like, say for example, like Avengers Endgame. That movie cost like 150 million to make, but they made billions of dollars. But I'm pretty sure if the movies got released to the homes, they wouldn't have made that billions of dollars. They probably would have made like maybe 1 billion instead of 3 billion.
Yeah, let me add to this argument. Okay, so there's been anybody can go out there and download any movie that they want to that's out in theaters right now. I guess I can still do it to this day. It's fucking easy. But it's not a threat to the movie theater industry because we see now that they're still making money hand over fist in movie theater industry, even though we can still download all these movies. But the problem is that we don't get the same experience. Most people don't. I can, and some people can, and that's what I'm saying. But we're the minority, and so for me to pay like an extra, like a premium to watch it at home, I have no problem with. You can start at $20, make it fucking 40, 50. I don't really give a shit. If I can stay, especially when you have kids, like I really don't give a shit because I don't want to take my toddler to a movie theater, even though I have before for kids movies. But I don't want to have her interrupt movies and stuff like that, and like have to like pause movies and shit like that. So for me, I don't mind paying extra to enjoy the experience at home because I'm getting the same experience, but I'm not gonna have to bother other people.
But then, yeah, like
I agree with that.
Since you have a daughter, like anybody's gonna go see a kids movie, it's gonna be like the mom or dad, the mom and dad, and the kid. So that's like right there. That's $60 easily.
And I'm
the kid.
I'm fine with
And then
paying.
you're saving on fucking like popcorn and candy too. So $60 for a movie for a free bill to watch it at home isn't actually that bad.
It's not.
I agree, but what I'm saying is from the movie production company's point of view, they would hate that because they're losing a shit ton of money. From us, the movie watcher, yeah, I'd love that. I'd pay $20-$30 to watch it at home. But if I was the head of a movie theater company or Fox Movies or Sony Movies, I would hate that because I'm going to make a huge fraction of the amount of money I would.
No, I still disagree because I'm gonna go back to the fact that most people they're not gonna get the same viewing experience that they're going to in the theaters as they are at home. So I think right now we're going to see movie theaters have the option, and like I said, I'm willing to pay a decent amount of money to watch it at home. But I think most people aren't because for them it doesn't make sense because they're not going to get the same sound system or video quality at home as they are in the theater. So I'm kind of like a one-off. I'm not a one-off, but I'm in the minority. But I will pay extra to get that service, and so that's where I think they can make their money back. So if I pay $60 to watch it at home, and then like other people that go in the theaters pay like $12, $15 per person, and for the production companies, they're not making money off of the popcorn and the fucking concession stands. They're making money off just the ticket that you paid for.
Correct.
So just keep that in mind as well.
Right.
So I think it's still going to be viable. I think it's going to become more viable, especially right now. I think that a lot more movies are going to get released earlier in videos or just drop directly on like Amazon Cinema. Amazon, this is how I know this is going to happen because Amazon literally made an entirely new section of their video programming called Amazon Cinema as soon as the COVID, not as soon as, but like a week after the COVID virus dropped, because they saw that there were these movies that were in the theaters that nobody was going to go watch. Onward and like 3 other movies. So they're like, all right, listen, we're going to make a new style of video content called Amazon Cinema, and we're going to drop movies that were in the cinema on our I guess digital platform, and people are going to watch it. And I did. I paid $20 to watch Onward early, and it's fine.
You might be able to twist my arm if that $20 included maybe for an extra $2 or $3 or $5 or whatever on top of that, I could own it very quickly after, or there was a discount on owning it too. Because if it is something good, the one-time viewing I'd like to have some kind of discount on owning and being able to rewatch it, especially if it's like something that the family can enjoy.
Yeah, so
But I mean-
that's not gonna happen because you don't get that when you watch a movie in theaters, man. You know,
Yeah. Yeah, I disagree with Cronus.
when you watch a movie in the theaters, you're not asking for a discount to get to own the movie. So that's, to me, that's unreasonable.
You might get a discount on a haircut at Supercuts, but
Yeah.
you don't get a discount on movie an actual movie.
Okay.
Well, speaking of Onward, I guess Onward will be on Disney Plus in 2 days.
No, it's already on there. Oh wait, no, it's going to be on there in 2 days.
On Disney
2 days,
Plus,
April
yeah.
3rd, Disney Plus.
It's already,
not-
yeah. So let me just, so people might be confused. Disney Plus is a subscription paid for service. Amazon Cinema, you just buy the movie outright. So you pay $20 and you own the movie, as long as the DRM servers don't go down. So just caveat there, which has happened before for shit that I've owned and I've lost a bunch of money. But anyway,
Okay.
All right.
Or Old Ninja, were you segueing on that point?
No, I already got that point out. Actually, I want to talk because I know this is Stitch. Stitch, what's this about your U.S. Hunger Games map? You want to break this down?
I woke up this day feeling like I need to have a nice 100 comment
a nice
Facebook
argument.
thread and everything. And then, so people have been posting that this like map of the United States. I don't know if someone can put it up in the little YouTube chat thing or whatever to see how it's divided across. But pretty much it breaks down the United States in different districts and everything. And it's got like, it's almost like Northeast, South, Southeast, Midwest, Pacific Northwest, and then like West Coast. So there's kind of like 5 regions, if I remember correctly. And all these mofos are just saying, oh, District 3, which geographically, size-wise, is probably the largest, because it includes like Texas. It goes as far west as Texas, north as maybe Kansas-ish, and then all the way out to like North Carolina. But that whole group is like, oh, we would run this. We got the most guns, blah, 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 blah. Come see us. And I'm like, y'all don't understand how this works. Like, I don't know if they've never played a game Risk before, and they don't understand like how to like, you have to move troops to different locations and shit like that. And I was just having fun with a nice, good old hearty debate with all my friends on Facebook, and it caught fire. It was great. I was loving it. And I just want to give a shout out.
Are the districts fighting each other? I didn't see this post.
It would be like oh yeah, because you're suspended from Facebook. I forgot about this.
Goddamn.
Damn.
But it would be like if the people in these locations that break off and have their own separate, I guess, country, or they in just winner take all battle royale or whatever. And I'm just like, y'all sleeping on. What's that?
No, I was asking if is there a way to share your screen on this app?
Yes, you can share your screen.
Yeah, I'm gonna share my screen and what Stitch is talking about.
Yeah.
Show that map.
Yeah, I'll let the computer tech do. Yeah, but my whole point. First of all, District 3, which is the southeast coast, the southeast, y'all already lost to District 5 in the Civil War. So y'all can't talk that noise about how, oh, we're the best, blah, blah, blah. Y'all 0 for 1 already when it comes to Civil War. So y'all need to pipe down.
So anybody who's watching live right now,
the West Coast.
if you see, as I'm talking, like the map is showing up and you can see that there's 5 different districts. And it's basically like broken down. Like you got the south, you got the lower west side, you got the upper west side, you have the mid north, and you have the upper east coast. Yeah, this is fucking crazy. And somebody said District 3 straight up shit. What's this? Hell no.
District, yeah, just because they have Texas and they're like, oh, we have all the guns in Texas and blah blah blah, and I'm like, y'all don't have the geographical like land advantages that we have on the West Coast. First of all, to even get to like our headquarters, let's just say our headquarters is like LA or something like that. How the fuck would they even get there? They're going to track over the Rockies or through the desert and everything? No. It would take them forever to even take over our country or district capital. And we would be able, if we wanted to be the aggressors in the situation, we would just be able to slowly pick them off because there is nothing in West Texas. Like, everybody reps Texas like it's this. I mean, Texas is huge, like, in terms of, like, people and everything, but size-wise, once you get west of San Antonio, there isn't shit until you get to El Paso. And El Paso is just whatever.
So, hold on.
They're not going to... They wouldn't be able to hold off Phoenix. Or if we just sent, like, San Diego.
I had to use the bathroom, so I missed some of this argument, but Texas has way more guns than at least. So California is not even in the mix. Like you're just gonna rely on basically Nevada and Arizona because of our very strict gun laws. Like that's a fact.
Oh gosh.
You're just relying on not California because that argument is not even valid. Like. They have so many.
I already discussed it while you were gone, but how would these? Like I said, west of San Antonio, your people population is very, very far and few between.
Okay, it's the same thing with like East California.
At what point? If let's say the District 3 wanted to be the aggressors in the situation, and everything. They would have a very hard time mobilizing their entire fucking army from their key population areas in Florida and Texas to be able to take over our district capitals, which would probably be like Los Angeles, Phoenix, Denver, and also to handle those geographical problems like getting up the fucking Rockies and shit like that.
We'd have the similar problems getting down the Rockies. Like,
what's that?
We'd have the same problems like getting down the Rockies. Like, so the Rockies and like the deserts that we live that you're talking about, nobody lives in there as well. Nobody lives in the fucking deserts of California.
So Rasan, like the map he's talking about is the one that's sharing right now. So
I don't know.
This is the different districts that break up.
Oh, okay, so you're talking about going through like New Mexico, yeah. So in District 1, the map that you're talking about, California is not even a factor at all. It's not. We have people, yeah, but we don't have the firearms. We don't. Like you got to rely on, Utah and Arizona and Nevada, and even them, they're sparsely populated. I think if you added up those three states all together, they don't equal the amount of people in Texas. Just Texas. And Texas has way more. Well, look it up right now. I mean, I'll look it up. Go ahead, keep talking.
Wait.
I will Google it for you.
Well, I know California has like 39 million people, and Texas probably has like 20, upper 20s, I guess.
Yeah, but Texas has way more guns than California does, like by a fucking wide margin. So Texas has 28 million people. Okay, they probably have 50 million guns. Like that's conservative.
How many guns can you fire at one time?
You can fire a lot. if
one person can fire 2 guns at a time, possibly.
Listen, if less than half of the population of California has guns, they win, and we have way less than half the population in California has guns. Way less.
How would Texas would not be able to even invade California? That's not happening.
So how we invade Texas? It's the same argument that you're saying. We have to go over the same obstacles to get to Texas.
It would be much easier, in my opinion, for District 1 to invade and cause havoc into District 3.
If you rely solely on states that are sparsely populated, Texas has the numbers and the guns. Just Texas.
Are we talking densely populated, or are we just talking about general populated? generally
hold on.
populated.
Okay, so Texas has they have 28.7 million people. Okay, so let's look at the one next to them. What? It's New Mexico, right? New
Mexico's
Mexico
in us, yeah.
population. They have 2 million people. 2 million
But
in
where
New
are the
Mexico.
people? Where are the people in Texas located? They're located to the east and to the southeast. Texas for the vast.
It's still 20 times or 10 times the fucking population for the closest state, and they have way more guns. The numbers don't add up, man. This would be Goddamn, I'm glad you didn't fucking join the military, because this would be fucking terrible. This would be terrible strategy. Seriously, Arizona has 7 million people. Colorado has 5 million people. If you add all those together, it doesn't equal 28 million people.
It's no.
You disagree with math? Okay, that's cool.
That is, it's not the math. It's just where everyone is located in these states. It's just
it doesn't matter. And then we're talking about one state in District 3 versus literally I just named off 3 different states. That's Arizona, New Mexico, and Colorado do not equal the population of fucking Texas, and Texas has more guns than all those states combined. And people. So, where's your argument there?
I think we should base off of strip clubs. Who has the best strip club? And I think they don't have probably the best.
People in Texas are like, yeah, but for real, Dallas has fucked up tacos. I'm just saying, y'all need to fix that shit.
I think if we were to look at it wealth-wise, like California definitely would be fucking killing it all.
Looked at what wealth-wise?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like we have definitely advantages, but when it comes to like firearms, we ain't got shit. We have our gun laws hamper us.
This is all based off of like Hunger Games, though.
Yeah, but also, I mean, you'd have to go all the way around. But the coastal areas of California have had, obviously excellent ports, and then have a strong naval presence, of course. But so if you're coming from that side, coming from the east, into California, not through the desert, but
well, I'm assuming we're not talking about the military. So I'm taking the military out of the equation at this point.
Yeah. Come on, people.
Yeah, just people.
Well, that's what the whole. Well, you were gone for that whole part of it, but that's what was encompassing. It was like I said, if you broke up and just made these areas different countries in themselves.
Okay,
so take everything that's in them.
So most people in the military, guess where they're from?
Texas.
Bingo.
Okay. Are they bringing the F-16s home with them? To their ranches in Texas?
They are not, but they're
still at Moffett, or
they're definitely not going to fight for the side of District 1, right?
So are we're just repopulating everyone? I'm confused what you're trying to do now with the numbers.
What I'm saying is if the vast majority of the military is from Texas, they're not going to fight for a state other than Texas. It doesn't matter what.
I don't know how we can make that claim that the vast majority of people from Texas are in the military. I mean, do we have that number? I mean, California's got the most people in the...
I know in the Marine Corps, it was the vast majority was from Texas, but let me look up the whole military.
I mean, I don't know these stats. I don't know where we...
I know, because I was in the military, so it's a little different. But I was in the Marine Corps, so in the Marine Corps, most people were from Texas.
All right.
Cronus, I'm reading his BuzzFeed that you just posted in the chat about Joe Exotic, and I'm like, wait, he can't actually sing?
Oh no, it's auto-tune.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the first one on here says the first country song featured ain't strictly by Joe Exotic. They are written by and performed by somebody else, and he sings it quietly over some of them, basically.
Oh wow.
All right, so
not surprised.
Here are the numbers that I can see from right now. These are from active duty personnel, civilians by state, and this is of 2017. When I was in, it was a little bit different. So I guess it's changed a little bit since I was in. So in September 2017, 184,000 people are from California, 164,000 are from Texas. And I'm going to give you a huge distinction here, is that if you're from the state of California and you're in the military, and you don't have proper licensing, you can't own a gun. In Texas, that is not the case.
Okay. But it still sounds
Okay,
like...
so the vast majority of people in the military are from California, then not Texas.
Not the vast majority. It's pretty close.
Well, the majority.
Yeah, just the majority by like 20,000 people.
So they have more people in the military that would fight for California than Texas.
Yeah, but they would be unarmed. That's a problem, right?
I just want to make sure that we got the correct numbers right.
Yeah. They would be unarmed, and the civilians would definitely be basically unarmed. Because if you look at the armed civilians in California, it's way less than Texas. So you're still relying.
I'm not saying that it's not completely illegal to have a firearm.
You're right. You have to jump through way more hoops, though. So, like me, I was in the military, and I don't own a firearm right now. I used to, but I need to fucking own another one. Jesus Christ, especially right now.
I'm just trying to make the distinction that it's not. It's strict, but it's not illegal. Like, you can own one.
Well, how many folks do you know in your personal circle that own a firearm here in California? Huh?
Quite a few. And for me, like,
I only know one, and that's Kronos.
Well, I used to. I don't own one right now. I really don't.
Yeah, I grew up with plenty of firearms in my house. I got plenty of family members that have, but
you're the minority, man.
Well,
I know. It's funny because
it's not prohibited.
It's funny that you asked. The two people I know that used to have firearms bought their firearms in California but moved out of state. One moved to Texas, the other moved to Nevada. And when the guy who moved to Nevada, when he lived in California, he bought his guns in Nevada and brought them into California. And I knew a lot of people. He knew other people that did the same thing. They would go to Arizona, go to a gun show, buy a gun, and come back. In fact, last summer, the kid who shot up the Gilroy Garlic Festival bought his gun in a different state and came back to California with it.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
which
record,
which is illegal. Like you're supposed to license it here in the state.
Yep.
But I mean, on record, probably on paper, it looks like people may not have guns, but it's really not that far of a drive to Nevada or Arizona, go to a gun show.
Nobody's doing that though. Like,
and they're in District 1.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Let's be real. Let's be fair and realistic, though. If you're living in the Bay Area or Los Angeles or San Diego, the major areas of California, that is a serious 3 to 4, maybe even 5-hour drive into the next state, depending on traffic and all of that. You don't do that on your own.
I know people that have done it, and I'm not saying the vast majority of people are going to do it, but people that are dedicated to do it, they're going to do it. And I mean, if you're living in the Bay, all you gotta do is go to Oakland, and apparently there's guns left out in like trash cans or certain areas.
Yeah, but
just look around.
You just look over a fucking body, you can get one.
And it's also, to be honest, in Texas, it's the types of firearms that you can own that make a huge difference. So they don't have like a lot of restrictions on, how big your magazine can be, what type of rifle you can buy. Like, they pretty much just like automatic rifles you basically can't buy without a certain FFL license. And other than that, they don't really give a shit. Like, you can have a magazine as pretty much as big as you want. Here in California, it's like, it's a 10-round magazine. And it's just like, that's a pain in the ass to keep changing magazines. Don't get me wrong. If you're proficient in your firearm, you can still shoot almost as fast as somebody that has a larger magazine. But it's still, that's a disadvantage that we have here in the state. And we hampered ourselves.
Kronos, I got this one gun in Borderlands that I can kill like 15 people with 2 fucking bullets.
that fucking Scoville's the shit.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All good. So did we want to go to any B than B's, or do we have any anime that we wanted to get into besides interspecies reviewers killing it?
There was a couple of B than BTIs.
So I got a B than BTI question for the group. I mean, we kind of talk about it every now and then, but since the coronavirus has hit us hard, we're all kind of quarantined in place, or I'm saying quarantine in place. What's something of the normal life that you miss the most compared to how things are now? Like, what's something that you wish you can do right now? Like, if you were to leave the house right now, what would be the first thing you would do?
I'd go to the movies.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a movie theater about a mile away from my house, so I wouldn't mind just getting out of the house and sitting in, because I don't have a recliner, so I can sit in the recliner and, well, at least not in my room, but sitting in a recliner, listening to Dolby Digital sound and watching a big screen film. Also, going out roughly this late, Buffalo Wild Wings might be open. Just going out get me some wangs. I can't do that
You can
at the
order in
moment,
though.
so yeah. I mean, I can make wings at home, but it's not the
But you
same.
can order in though.
Uh,
Lemon pepper
yeah,
wet.
yes, you can. Yeah, but it's different. It's way different being able to get it fresh out the kitchen and have it plop right down in front of you.
You that waitress, you can kind of chit chat with her.
Yeah, a little bit, or a bartender that's there and be like, "Hey, what's going on?" Watch. Also, sports. There's no fucking what's going on. Normally,
Yeah, that's my thing.
I'd be watching some sports at like if I went out or whatnot. So those are
Beaches
the
and
only things.
beaches and parks for me, man. That
Wow.
I'm really jonesing for that some of that outdoor time with just some fucking fresh air and not being worried about crowds or anything. So like any of the beaches along the San Mateo or San Francisco coast or even down to Santa Cruz,
Yeah.
and then definitely some of like the parks like Mission Peak or Mount Tamalpais or just any of them. Man.
Yeah, for me, it's definitely the sports. I mean, it's supposed to be baseball season, start of spring and everything. Just randomly going to like a Giants or A's game just on a random ass Wednesday for a day game. And it's like, realistically, I think it was Prodigy in between his shit post that he normally does. He said something about like, if you gave away a free tickets to a sporting event, like he was like saying like, I wouldn't go. And I was like, I don't blame you. Like, I mean, it could be damn near like the Super Bowl or whatever. If it was going on in a month,
Yeah.
I'd be like, fuck that, I ain't going. And I don't, unfortunately, I don't see this changing anytime soon. I mean, I remember when it first, all this stuff with basketball being canceled, a couple like football players like, oh, that could never happen to us. It's going to happen to football, and football. Yeah, and it's going to be kind of sad because especially for like college football where you have these big revenue generating campuses like University of Georgia or Ohio State, where you literally have like 120,000 people in the stands every Saturday, bringing in millions of dollars for these college campuses. That's not happening. Like they can live in this pipe dream and think that everything might be back to normal by fall. I really don't see it, unfortunately, especially with how everyone's not getting down with the program of social distancing.
Yeah, especially in
You're
certain
just going to
states.
set it back by. Yeah, especially you just all of a sudden try to gather 100-something thousand people together in a stadium and shit like that. No, that's going to set us back months from what we were trying to
Back to square
cure
one,
ourselves
baby.
from.
What about you, Cronus?
Yeah, so for me, like the thing that I want back the most is just my daughter to be able to see her grandmother again. Like that's been like so fucking hard for the whole family, is her being separated from her grandmother. I can't put in words how difficult it's been for her to be away from her grandmother, and that's been like super rough. And also school, but mostly like her grandmother, because they're super close. And then for me personally, like jiu-jitsu, like me not being able to do jiu-jitsu is fucking insanely difficult, because that's like my outlet for like stress and like all this other shit, and I can't do it right now, you know. And there's I tried to get some roll-up mats, and it got even my the roll. So I was gonna teach K-Mac how to do jiu-jitsu, because I got these online courses that thank goodness they were free. Not that they need to be free, but they had a couple of online courses from bjjfanatics.com. There was like 2 courses that were free, and then now my instructor is doing free online classes to like for like a small group. And I ordered like these roll-up mats, and right before they got shipped, the county in Texas that we're gonna ship from got fucking shut down, and they called the business a non-essential business, so they can't ship them to me. So I'm like, fuck, this is like the longest time that I have not done jiu-jitsu since I started jiu-jitsu like almost 7 years ago, and that's fucking insane. So for me, it's like for how most people wake up and just like eat breakfast. That's like for me that was jiu-jitsu, you know, because I don't fucking eat breakfast anymore. So it's like I can't even contemplate not being able to do this for this amount of time. and it's eventually it's gonna fucking really get to me. It's starting to already, but hopefully soon I can get back to choking people. You know, because I need an outlet. I need an outlet. It's the Peloton bike helps, but I'm not like choking people. So yeah, it's hard.
Yeah. So for me, I would say like being able to hang out with friends. Like,
Yeah, the podcast too.
I mean,
yeah.
yeah, the podcasting and stuff help. Like being able to hang out with you guys and talk the shit that we normally do. It's really cool, but like this doesn't count. This doesn't cut being there in person, be able to like see each other and like interact and kind of like look at each other and get that interaction. But then like, you know, kind of hitting up the bars or going to like restaurants, like the people interaction with each other is like, it's really hard. I'll be walking my dogs on the street. I'll see a stranger in the street. I'm like, hey, how's it going? Like, how you doing? Like random person just saying like, how you doing? Just so I can have that human interaction with somebody. And
Like, get the fuck away from me.
it's hard, man. Yeah,
Where's your mouth?
they're on the other side of the street, but like, yeah, it's fucking crazy. Like today, my work, they did a happy hour. Basically, they did a happy hour with Zoom, and I'm like, this is gonna be dumb as fuck. Like, everybody on fucking webcam, like talking, blah blah blah. But actually, it was pretty fucking fun. Like everybody had their own fucking drinks. We like people would talk about different stories, and we had like a little bit of a scavenger hunt. And it was actually a lot of fun, but it still doesn't compare to actually having like that human interaction with each other. Like I imagine being at a bar, talking to somebody like, "Hey man, like work is sucked and this and that," but I don't have to worry about like everybody at work hearing me tell the same fucking story, basically. But I really miss human interaction, to be honest.
Yeah, man, I'm with you on that. I think,
And it's strip clubs.
yeah,
Not here in California. Not here in the Bay Area. They fucking.
I don't know strip clubs. Yeah.
yeah, man, we're in this for the long haul. My kids' school and pretty much all the schools in California looks like this school year is a fucking wrap.
Yeah.
So
That's crazy.
what's devastating for me is this was my daughter's kindergarten year, so obviously really important here in school, real school. My fourth grader, my son, he'll be all good, and we're he's pretty self-sufficient. But missing kindergarten is something I couldn't fucking imagine, But anyway, it is what it is.
I mean, I get it because like my oldest daughter, this is her senior year, and we're missing. This is the first time in a long time, like we're gonna miss her for spring break. I mean,
Yep.
and
Oh yeah.
her school is shut down. She's probably not gonna have a graduation ceremony. And I was thinking, I was telling K-Mac, I was like, this is like awful for like these kids because these kids that are graduating this year, they were born like right after 9/11, and so they've grown up with like a war, like the whole time they've been alive, and now they get their whole like senior year cut short, and that's really fucked up. Can you imagine like when we were kids, like getting your senior year cut short?
Nope.
Like what the
not at
fuck?
all.
Yeah, like it's really fucked up.
Especially kids like, because I know, Cronus, your daughter was supposed to start her like her college pretty much.
Yeah.
Like literally, like I started, and I'm pretty sure the Oathbreaker started right after high school. We went straight to college, and so with this going on right now, these kids are literally having to sit and wait. Like you don't get to say goodbye to your friends. Really, you don't get that whole big like movies for generations make this scene about graduation a big thing, and they're not going to get to experience it probably for a while.
They didn't even get to prom.
Yeah, they have prom.
Yeah, you're right.
No
Right.
prom night getting up your babies.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, that's great. That's great. Family Guy. All right. That's a great reference,
man.
Blue.
The other thing is, though, for when we're talking about going to college and whatnot for these young folks, I mean, and Stitch kind of alluded to this when he was talking about college football, but you talk about a breeding ground for fucking, exchange
Disease.
and disease and shit. You got people from all over the country and all over the fucking world in tight-ass quarters interacting on a day-to-day basis, living together, and just spreading fucking germs. Kids are fucking nasty, including college kids. And so I think, let's say optimistically things do open up maybe in October or November of later this year. You may see some spikes at some of these big colleges,
Oh, yeah.
whether football's going on or not.
Bro, they shut down the Marine Corps boot camp.
Yep.
They stopped
shit, they did?
they stopped taking recruits in for at least Paris Island. They're probably gonna do it for San Diego as well. But it's just like, dude, that's probably the first time in American history where they had to stop taking recruits because of an infection. Like,
Yep.
because to be honest with you, boot camp is like a breeding ground for. I got super sick when I was in boot camp in the Marine Corps, and I got lucky that I didn't get like left behind. Because normally, if you get sick for like more than a couple days, they'll put you in like a medical platoon, and you have to like basically start a cycle over again. And my senior drill instructor, I think it took some pity on me, and he gave me an extra couple days, and I got better. But man, I like when you're there when somebody gets sick, everybody, like a lot of people get sick. It's not just one person; it's like a bunch of people.
Right. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I wasn't in the military, but I could just imagine, and it's the same way for any undergraduate school.
Yeah, dorms.
Yeah, it fucking spreads like fucking wildfires or whatever. So this shit is awful.
Like for me, like I talked about earlier, how people who have babies, like they can have spouses and stuff come in there too. But like, my birthday is this month, and I can't do anything. Like you're sheltered in place. Like my birthday is gonna have I'm gonna have a Zoom party basically.
Let's do it.
But yeah, like I can't. Like usually I'll go to like to Hawaii. Last year I went to Disney World for the first time. Like I always try to do something cool for my birthday, but this year it's like, I'm gonna be camping out in the backyard. Trying to fun.
You gotta stay away from the coyotes, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got coyotes and fucking deer. But this is definitely a life changer. For now,
we had press passes to WonderCon, which is obviously postponed.
San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, and San Diego, we were going to send at least Kronos and Blue, and then the other thing is we got approval. One of my favorite cons, the local one, Fanime, we got approval for doing a panel there, but we don't know if that's going to get canceled. It probably will because that's at the end of May. But this is what it is. If Fanime is still going on, I'm damn sure going to watch some hentai in a group of people.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
With my mask on, though.
People stay at home. Let's just fucking wrap this shit up.
Yeah, man. All right. Do we wanna go ahead and round it up? Tell us what we got populating this week besides staying at home and eating beans.
Yeah, staying the fucking home.
Kronos, what you got populating though?
Yeah, so I'm staying the fuck at home. Doing schoolwork with my daughter. Like I got some more stuff to do. I gotta say, fuck you to whoever delivered my package today from Monoprice because they fucked me over. They delivered me a damaged ass package that had a hole in it, face down, on my porch, and I have like these really cool earbuds. I have some Jabra Elite Active 65 Ts, and so I wear these earbuds like all the time. I literally shower with them because I listen to audiobooks so much. And one of the earbuds like started getting really low, and so I got a warranty repair done on them. Like I'm gonna do the warranty repair. Just before the coronavirus hit, I got approved for it, and then it got hit, and I was just like, well, I'm gonna wait a little while. So I bought some new earbuds like last week, or actually a couple days ago, for Monoprice. They're gonna replace these, so I can send those in, right, and then be able to get them repaired. And I also bought a printer cable because my printer is fucked up because it won't work over Wi-Fi anymore. So I needed like both things to like be able to send these headphones off and not go crazy. So I get this package in, and there's a fucking hole in the package. And what they steal? They stole fucking earbuds. I got the fucking printer cable, but somebody stole fucking earbuds in the shipping process. So I'm like, what the fuck, man? So I had to like literally email Monoprice, be like, hey, the ship. I have a picture of it. There's like a hole in the fucking package. Like somebody stole it from shipping. Like what the fuck? So fuck whoever did that. You're an asshole. Now I gotta figure out something else to do. Hopefully Monoprice will like send me new earbuds, but I don't know. We'll see. Other than that, I don't know. Y'all stay safe. Fucking stay at home. Don't fucking go outside. Don't get somebody else sick. If you're not sick, think about people that are older than you, that are immunocompromised, that have respiratory issues. They can still die. We had 1,000 people die yesterday alone, so don't be a fucking asshole. and stay at home. And if you think that, you know, you're not going to get sick and all that bullshit, stop listening to this podcast. Fuck you. I hope you fucking die. Actually, no, not that extreme. Just go away. Maybe not die.
You did a hit 'em up like on Carol Baskin.
Yeah, yeah.
Stitch, what you got popping this week?
Staying the fuck home. You're gonna do some weeding around like in the backyard, I guess.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Then been watching a bunch of like Sesame Street videos on YouTube and just singing along to like Elmo songs and stuff like that. It's hilarious. Like, thank God nobody can see me singing these ridiculous songs
Just
the
talk,
entire time to my
talk
daughter.
as much as possible and use sign language too. Do some sign language with it.
Yeah, it's so weird because I normally don't talk that much, like just in general, like when I'm just like by myself or whatever. But it's like I have to remind myself, talk to the baby. She can understand, and she's learning sounds and voices and words and stuff. So I'm just like cooking like bacon and eggs, and I'm just like pretending like I'm doing like a YouTube video explaining to her how to cook bacon and eggs and stuff. It's just random, and I'm just like, my voice starts to like deteriorate because I'm just talking so much randomly around the house. It's hilarious.
Yeah, just talk all the time, and it pays dividends down the road. It really does.
Yeah, it does.
Like the commercials. Talk, read, sing.
Blue, what you got popping?
Oh man, like everybody else said, I'm staying at home. Like how Elmore said, or
Who?
Whom's
He's been drinking, y'all.
Twice.
how Stitch said,
Blue's
gonna
been
do some
drinking.
yard work, this and that. I know I was kind of talking about how earlier my work did a Zoom party, so we're actually gonna do a Zoom party with some of Nancy's friends, hopefully either tomorrow or Friday. But
So the sweetness?
it'd be kind of dope to do a,
You mean the sweetness?
yeah, the sweetness. I actually say her name.
Damn.
You are strike too.
It's late. I'm tired. But yeah, so yeah, we're gonna do like a happy hour party with friends online. But we were talking about it in the chat room, and it'd be kind of cool if we can do like a happy hour with our fans. It's like be able to get people who listen to the podcast kind of jump on, and we can like interact with each other, and like having with Zoom, I think it's free. You can have like up to 100 people for free before you need to actually have like a subscription or some shit like that. So it'd be kind of cool to get like a bunch of people going on in there. But then there's also Google Hangout that works out pretty well too. But
it does. I just need to make.
While we were podcasting, I bought a new camera.
Nice.
I bought a better webcam because I'm a photographer. The shit I seen on my screen isn't good at all. I'm like, fuck this shit. Ain't nothing better.
Yeah, I think I have
I could use my.
Go ahead.
I could use my professional camera, but like that thing, it's not meant for streaming or webcamming because it times out in every 20 minutes, and I don't want to fucking break my moneymaker. So
No, you need a
yeah, I decided to buy a
you need
webcam.
a capture device. That's
No,
the problem.
so no, it's the Nikons. They're not. They shut off after 20 minutes of being connected. Like if you have them on for too long, they'll shut off no matter what.
Oh, that's weird.
Even if because I had the Elgato for a while. I tried using that for like streaming videos, and it cuts off every 20 minutes.
Oh well, Canon for the win.
Yeah. It's a plus for the Nikon or for the Canons.
Yeah.
They can last longer. But if I had a mirrorless camera, then I could actually stream it a lot better. But I brought like a quick $50 webcam that does 1080p.
Yeah, just 1080p, you're good.
And it has 5 stars on Amazon, so you know. So next week,
It's
my
probably
video
from China
will
though,
probably-
so coronavirus. You know, I'm just kidding. It's not coronavirus, but it's probably from China.
right. But other than that, you know, just kicking and drinking.
Old Ninja, what you got?
So, like the rest of y'all, shelter in place. Gonna be helping Stitch level up his battle pass on Call of Duty.
With my
A
dog.
lot of that recently. Yeah. Your dog that you bought for $20. Yeah, actually finishing up the battle pass. Actually, I guess Resident Evil 3, the remake, drops, I think, in 3 days. So I'm debating about getting that. I'm not quite sure. Got to think about, things that are coming up, so I may wait. I won't be surprised if it goes on sale. A lot of people are going out. GameStop may or may not. I guess they shut down 300 stores, so I mean, you can get it anywhere else or other places, not anywhere else. You can get it at a couple other places, but we'll see. Probably gonna do some yard work tomorrow as well. Other than that, just the rest of it's just gonna be movies and gaming.
Real quick, shout out to I think is it I don't know his name on here, so is it I'm gonna say only first name, it's a common first name. Is it Jason that does the time stamping?
No, it is.
No.
It's
Eric.
Eric. Eric does. He does it afterwards.
Yeah. Shout out to him. I have not forgotten. I am going to send him something, but obviously I have not made it to the post office during all this Rona bullshit. But
Yeah.
shout out to you. You do a great job. I want to give you something. I have not forgotten. As a reminder, definitely read your comics. See if you can pick up, like make some purchases online for certain shops. I mentioned it last week. Cape and Cowl is having a lot of great sales and whatnot. Try to support as many local businesses, especially local comic shops, as you possibly can. They still got a lot of BS going on with the distributor Diamond. Kronos mentioned that last week, but buy some old.
Everybody shut down because of that. Like all the comic book shop. Well, most comic book shops are shut down because of Diamond shut down.
Yeah, but buy some old trades. Like that's the thing. Buy some trinkets. Buy some posters. Buy some backpacks. You do not want them going away. Comics have been around for decades and decades, so you don't want to fucking lose out on that. And then, most importantly, don't forget, watch Interspecies Reviewers, goddamn.
No, motherfucker. I say, stay the fuck at home. Stay at home.
All right, take us out, old ninja.
All right, you just experienced Black and Black Times Infinity,
Infinity.
the dankest podcast on the internet. Check us out on the internet with @BThanBTI. It's BTHANBTI. Check everywhere on YouTube. Wednesday night, 8:30 West Coast time. On YouTube, find us at Black and Black Times Infinity. On Facebook, we're Black and Black Times Infinity. We're on Spotify, Player FM, Radio Republic. I said Spotify already. SoundCloud, BThanBTI. Check our official website, binheadproduction.com/BThanBTI, and on Twitch and Amazon, we're on there as well.
I'm gonna be the Pirate King.
No, you ain't. Where you going? You just leaving?
Yeah.
Eat.
You and your photos.
District 1,
don't
baby.
don't get yourself quarantined while in quarantine.
Ah.
All right,
Some folks.
we're out this bitch. Peace.